All right, everybody, welcome back. We got a winning week for Tuck here. Big week. That Fern lives another day. It's not going over the bridge.
That's good news.
Oh, very, as much as I did sweat the Rams game in that overtime victory, that was my best bet, +1. Holy Lord, we made it happen.
Yeah,
I finally won a best bet.
I was worried for you.
They were up 21-0, right? Yeah. And coughed it up in the latter second half of the game. But here we are.
Yep.
I am a victor of the best bet. Overall, for the week, give us a recap, Matthew.
All right, my friend. I'll happily give one for you and just... I'll get to me. All right, you were 4-1 on the week. Tuck, nice week, buddy. Hit your best bet with the Rams +1, outright winners there. We also had there the Jags, Falcons under 43. Nice London play. Hit that one. Baltimore +2.5, outright winners there. Nice little
I got a little lucky on that one.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson being ruled out.
But still.
Hey, a win's a win. Pittsburgh -3 was the loss. Man, they took a bath against the Texans, and the Niners rolled over the Cardinals. You had a -14. No issues there. Speaking of taking a bath, then there's me, who is as cold as fucking ice.
We got to talk you.
Yeah, we'll talk. Don't worry about it. I've been
what
fucking
the hell
miserable.
Was this?
Been miserable for the last 3 days. It was an awful weekend for me. Probably my worst gambling weekend.
Yeah.
In a long time. Maybe ever.
Maybe
ever. I was just cold. I'm just not seeing the board. So.
You seem like you're in a dark place as a gambler.
Was not happy last weekend.
Because you sucked on...
college was horrible.
You sucked on college.
College was horrible.
I played every one of your picks in college.
It didn't go well.
You son of a bitch.
3-10 overall. I think it was 3-9. No,
yeah, it was good. It was not good. Whatever it was.
3-8, not good. In college, and a nice 1-4 in the NFL for me. Best bet losing for the first time with New Orleans. Derek Carr didn't even want you to play. You played. I wish you didn't. You're terrible.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. But
I was miserable when he was starting the game because I liked the Jameis part of that handicap, but is what it is. Loss, Miami, blown out, said it was chalky, still went with it, loss, bad play, Raiders, Chargers, over. That game pissed me off more than anything.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, over 47.5, that's a loss. Finished at, 24-7, so 41 and 31 in the first half. And just nothing in the second half, including an Aiden O'Connell pick at the end of the game after Brandon Staley, again, bonehead, going for it on his own 25 and failing. Somehow keeps winning those games. We'll get to that. Pats +7. Never again. Fuck you, Mac Jones. Fuck New England. Fuck everybody.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
Just pissed today. Really mad.
We'll talk about it.
Somehow the Seattle Seahawks are the best team for me betting, who I hate more than anybody. And I just keep cashing those. So thank you, Seattle, for showing up and burying the Giants on Monday Night Football.
Speaking of Seattle, they are on a bye for Week 5 with the likes of the Browns, the Chargers, and the Bucks in the NFL's first wave of bye weeks. So far for the NFL, favorites have a small edge over the underdogs, with the favorites covering in 50.8% of the game so far. And as for the totals, the under is hitting at a clip still above 50% at 54.7%. So that's where we stand so far in the NFL season. But listen, I had a bad week last week, had 2 wins, bounced back with a 4-1 this past week, so I feel good about you bouncing back as well.
Thank you, but I appreciate it. I will say, I had a lot of people texting me on Sunday and knew that I was in
bound
a
to
bad
happen.
No, not in a bad way, though. Usually I was waiting for the chirps to happen.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of good buddies saying, hey, you've been there, you've won with you in the past, we're sticking with you. I'm like, you can fade the hell out of me. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame anybody for fading me right now. But we got to keep firing.
Yes.
We're going to trust my roots, and we're going to go.
All right, on to Week 5. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football and a pure garbage matchup. We have the Washington Commanders hosting the Chicago Bears, who somehow blew that game home against the even worse Broncos team. I still believe that.
Yeah, I do too.
But here we go. 0-4 Bears. I guess they're angling for that number 1 pick. But nonetheless, Commanders, 6-point favorites on DraftKings. Point total, 44.5. Commanders really, my inkling last week with the Eagles divisional matchup was correct because it was an 8.5 point spread last week with the Eagles. And I said, that's way too many points for a divisional matchup. They've played each other close. Sure enough, they go to overtime, but here we go. Commanders hosting the worst team in the league with the Bears. What do you think on this one?
Give me Louisiana Tech plus 6.5 college football, because that game's not even worth watching.
I honestly don't think I'm going to tune into this.
Louisiana Tech plus 6.5. That's the play on Thursday night at home against Western Kentucky. Now, in all seriousness, back to the Bears Commanders. I will watch it because this is where I realize the NFL has me by the balls.
Who are we kidding? I'm going to watch it.
And it's just, they have you by the balls. You're going to watch no matter what night they play, who's on. It's just disgusting game. Kind of like the Bears here. 6 points.
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
I don't know that I'm going to bet it. I'll bet something in this game.
Yeah.
Just because it's Thursday night and I have a gambling problem.
Now, this is Wednesday. The latest news on Jahan Dotson, who's had a dismal year so far, but he did reel in a crucial touchdown last week. He left the game with an ankle injury, but news today is that he will play against the Bears tomorrow night. So nice to hear that news. But still, that's too many points.
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
It's too many points.
I don't want to lay that with Washington. I'm not laying 6 with Washington, though if there's, this is just gross. I will say, when I was looking at my lines that I made this game Washington minus 6, and I'm like, Jesus. So it's right on where I have it. Yeah. I was hoping to get a 7, and I might just play it very small, like pizza bet.
So FanDuel actually has the Commanders at 5.5.
Yeah.
So if you want
some money coming,
no Thursday night bets, but that's a decent take there. If your line is at 6, 5.5, there you go.
Yep, 5.5.
So I don't know what else to say to this. I mean, I guess the only thing I will say that Justin Fields did show up as a passer last week and not so much as a rushing playmaker like I thought they were going to do. Look good. 4
touchdowns.
Yeah, Cole Kmet with 2 of them. DJ Moore reeled in 1. And I forget who the other one was. But it was good to see, and hopefully they continue that. But yeah, it's just I don't really see anything here for me. It's just a gross game, and I'll still watch a little bit. Yeah, like maybe into the second quarter. All right, well, moving ahead to another London matchup. Jaguars stayed in London, having a nice little vacation for themselves, even though that's their future home.
Pretty much
been saying that for years now. Very, very interesting matchup. Taking on the Buffalo Bills. Bills losing a home game in this one. They got to be thrilled about that.
Yeah, love it. Right?
I mean, because they're one of the better home field advantages in the NFL.
Yep.
That sucks. That absolutely sucks. But we have the Bills favored at 5.5, and the point total is at 48.5. If I had to play, I would lean the Bills on this one. Jaguars not looking consistent whatsoever, and it really seems like the Bills have finally woken up a little bit of a slow start out of the chute. But now I think they're going to put their pedal to the metal here, and I think they would probably take care of business against the Jaguars. But no plays for me on this one.
Yeah, no play.
Where are you on this?
No play either for me. It's I made the game 5.5. I actually find it interesting that the Jaguars stayed there. I think that's a huge benefit to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a time difference. You got to stay there. Yeah,
they're just acclimated to it. So I don't know. Just staying away from it completely.
So this is the first time in NFL history that a team has done back-to-back in London.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think that says something to me in terms of a franchise moving to London. That's just me.
Well, yeah. I also find it incredibly the advantage to Jacksonville doing that while saying the Bills, this is your home game. Who would have thought they would have played the Bills game first? But I don't know. This feels very in favor of Jacksonville in that.
Now, I did not watch the Toy Story game last week.
I did, and let me tell you, Tuck,
what would you think? Because I was driving home from a wedding.
First of all, I loved it. So right before
it was good.
Right before the game, I bet Jacksonville. Because I said, all right, I got my daughter in. We decided, I was telling her about it. She's like, oh, I want to watch. It's like, this is great.
She throw down money too?
4 years old. Yeah, she throws down all the time.
Put down her $5.29.
Yeah, exactly that, Tuck. So she's 4. She wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And we were laughing. Like, it was just pretty funny. But they did a pretty good job. They had some technical difficulties, especially in the beginning. I mean, but I'll tell you this. Having money on a game that you're watching as Toy Story in Andy's room was electric.
Really?
I mean, it's just electric because you're watching it. It was like watching a cartoon.
So they put
But
like
it's
chips.
real.
They put chips in the shoulder pads,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
So it was
exactly.
all real time.
Yep, and everything they were doing with their body parts was happening. It was pretty good. I mean, of all the things they've done, Nickelodeon, that I think they did like a SpongeBob thing once, and
something like
a couple
that.
different things they did on Nickelodeon. This was much better in my opinion. I thought they did a nice job.
Yeah, I could see Disney doing that again with a different movie. I think if I had money, I would put it on Cars probably because I could see
maybe.
football players being Cars.
Yep, could see it.
That's just me. I don't know, but I'm not even kidding. I was kind of pissed I missed it because I did want to see how it played out and how the broadcaster sounded and everything. The only criticism I heard, it was too heavy on the Toy Story references, but like you got to keep the kids interested.
That's the part. That's the reason you're watching it. So
all right,
no, I liked it.
So no plays from us on the Jaguars Bills. Moving ahead to the New York Giants, going on the road in Miami. This was very close to being a like for me.
Same.
What did this open at for the Dolphins? They were 9.5 point favorites.
This opened, I can tell you right now, this one opened at, where are we?
Because they're at 11 right now.
9.5.
Yeah, okay. So this is moving heavily in the Dolphins' favorite. And I could see, and rightfully so, obviously, but I could see this moving another point and a half, honestly, before Sunday.
Yep.
They could easily win by 2 touchdowns against this Giants team that looks completely lost. And Daniel Jones probably has the worst contract in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, I know they have an offensive line woes. Saquon Barkley's been hurt.
Yeah. They're really banged up again.
When your coach, Brian Daboll, is throwing daggers at Daniel Jones on the bench and literally throwing
the iPad or whatever it is.
The tablet to
him. They're not good.
Not very good. Not very good. So this was very close for me, just hammering the Dolphins, but I'm staying away from it. Just, I don't know. It's just too many points there. And, what's his name? Thibodeau, I think could maybe cause some chaos in the backfield for the Dolphins a little bit there. He's been an absolute beast. Point total on this one, by the way, is 48.5. So no plays for me on this one. Anything for you?
No,
here?
pretty much exactly what you said was where I was going with this and make the game 11. I missed the 9.5, and that made me angry. I was hoping to drop back down. If I got a 10, I'll play it at 10. But that's my bet line.
Yeah. I mean, Devon A-Chain is just really coming on for the Dolphins, by the way.
Yeah.
And then
they need more speed.
Yeah. And then, Jeff Wilson's going to be making his return there soon. So I'm curious about that backfield going forward. But nonetheless, A-Chain looking like a solid pick for the Dolphins there. Yep. So there you go. All right. So moving on to this one. And this is the one that I was talking with you about before we began rolling.
Okay.
Lions hosting the Carolina Panthers. 9.5 points currently on Wednesday. Point total is 44.5. This was my first like. And I will say that I looked this morning on FanDuel, and the lines were at 8.5.
Yep.
8.5. And that was like, liking that one. Now it's at 9.5. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to go with it.
Yeah.
I think this is a smash spot for the Lions. The Panthers offense is just pure garbage right now. Mm-hmm. They should have just rolled out Andy Dalton again this week because Bryce Young just does not
can't
look
move the needle
like a solid number 1 overall pick. Like, yes, his career is obviously still young, but so far he looks a little bit lost. When you're relying on a 34-year-old wide receiver in Adam Thielen to being a target machine, and he's delivering, but if he's your number 1 weapon on your offense,
not great.
It's not good. No. It's not good. Miles Sanders, on top of that, battling a groin injury. I know the Lions defense has had a setback on defense, losing Gardner Johnson there.
Yep.
But, I still think this is a smash spot for the Lions. Lions, they are 12-2 against the spread in their last 14 games. And this is from thecovers.com. They haven't been a favor of 9 or more since November 12th, 2017. This is clearly rare territory for the Lions, as they've been only a favorite by this much or more 6 times since 2000. And then next week, I think that the Lions are in for a dogfight on the road in Tampa, coming off a bye. So I think that they take care of business this week at home, looking toward and getting ready for a 3-1 Buccaneers team who's going to be fresh coming off a bye here. So Smash spot for the Lions. I would like this at 10 even. It's currently at 9.5. This could easily be a 2-touchdown victory or more for the Lions. I could totally see a defensive score here. And then they get back Jameson Williams into the mix, seemingly into the mix, where his suspension was reduced by 1 game. He's going to be back. Curious to see how he's mixed into this offense, but absolute love this pick.
Yeah, I again right on board with where I was thinking the game should be at. I do have the line at 9.5, and I do think it's a smash spot for Detroit. I can't bet Carolina on the road, period.
No.
I do like Carolina at home because their defense usually shows up there and they play gross games, and they're usually getting enough points to make it valuable. Not on the road. Not against Detroit, whose defense, even without C.J. Gardner-Johnson's playing really well. Aiden Hutchinson's an absolute monster up front. Their whole Lions line absolutely ate the Packers alive the other night, coming off a little bit of a mini-bye because they played Thursday Night Football on top of it. So, yeah, I like the Lions here
that's
as well.
The other thing.
It's not a bet official play for me, but I will probably be on that.
Now, I mean, if I'm the Panthers, I roll out Andy Dalton, experienced, not the best quarterback in the world, but he's experienced to go in an environment like Detroit. Place going to go bananas.
Yeah, place going to be madhouse.
I mean, you get a couple of like a strip sack or something on Bryce Young. That place is going to go bananas, and Young's going to cave.
I agree. I think
he's going to turtle.
Win big.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with the Dalton play too, but I don't think they're going to do it.
No, they won't.
They're going to let Young take his lumps. Hopefully, get him a receiver next year and go from there.
Honestly, like if you wanted to just make a small sprinkle on like the Lions defense scoring, I would do that.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, whether it's a strip sack or a pick six, I think it's coming.
They're rolling.
Yeah. Moving ahead, we have the Ravens going on the road in Pittsburgh with a reeling Pittsburgh Steelers team. 4-point home dogs for the Steelers. Point total 38.5. This one I've been going back and forth. This is another like for me.
Okay.
Still battling around if this is going to be my best bet.
Okay.
Under 38.5.
Okay.
For this one. Last season, 2022 season, when these two divisional opponents played each other, we saw scores of 16-14 and 16-13. In 2021, we saw scores of 20-19 and 16-13. So for the past 2 seasons, they have gone 4 games all under this point total here.
Yep.
Excuse me, or close to it, because 20-19 is 39, obviously.
39, yeah.
But like you're right there. But three out of 4, not bad.
Yep.
Ravens also on top of that, they have gone under in 14 of their last 19 games. I don't see how this is going to be any different with Kenny Pickett. He was banged up. It seems like he's going to be a go again. He might be on a short leash. They might be turning to Trubisky soon. So whichever quarterback they decide to go with, I just don't trust this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Najee Harris looks lost. I guess he took a small step forward last week, but you don't know what you're going to get out of both he and Jaylen Warren is seeing more and more snap counts here. His snap percentage is going up. Pat Freiermuth is banged up. I think he's out, right?
Well, he's doubtful, but he's expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so that's a big loss for that offense, especially a security blanket like Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
So what do you have? George Pickens? Like, name another receiver for the Steelers.
I don't think Deontay Johnson's going to be back.
No, he's not going to be back.
He's still in the IR. So
I mean, honestly, I really am struggling. I'm going to look up the Steelers
he's definitely still in the IR.
No, yeah, I'm not saying Deontay's coming back.
No, I know. I'm saying that he's definitely out.
Like Calvin Austin, I know he had a touchdown a couple weeks ago. Allen Robinson, the ghost of Allen Robinson.
Gross.
Just a gross overall offense, and there've been cries to fire the offensive coordinator there.
Yep.
So it's a like for me. I'm not going to say it's a best bet.
Okay.
I was very close to saying it, but we're going to go with the Steelers-Ravens under 38.5 as a play for me. Do you have anything on this game?
No, I lean to the under as well. I actually lean to Pittsburgh side, and it's...
Why?
I'm not betting it, but it's a lean, and it's just because we've seen this movie so many times. Division game, rivalry game. It's just a field goal game every year. No matter, it just feels like, or within, of course you have those games where one beats the other, but I mean, we've seen backup quarterbacks play in this game. It doesn't matter. They just play, throw the stats out the window. And if you're looking to the Pittsburgh side, you have to throw the stats out the window because they can't stop the run, and Baltimore is going to want to run all day, all night, which I also like for your underplay because I think Baltimore is going to try to run the ball consistently,
right?
Get all their backs going, and I think that helps the under, right? Just going to chew up time. I don't like Pittsburgh's offense. I will say this. I really don't think Pickett's going to play. They're off next week. They don't lose much. If you look at the stats
I think
from
Pickett
Trubisky,
plays. I think he plays because he's home.
Either way, I mean, from Trubisky to him, there's no difference. They're basically the same quarterback. Looking at the stats, their QBR 81 to 76 in favor of Trubisky. Trubisky averages 7 yards a pass. Pickett's 6.6. So, I mean, they're the same guy right now.
Right.
And I don't like their weapons, as you alluded to. I'm staying away from it. It just feels like this game is always a field goal game no matter what, and I'm staying off it. But I would lean to the under. I think that's the best play in this game.
And just a quick note, cornerback Marlon Humphrey for the Ravens returned to practice today with a foot injury, so that speaks to it being more of a defensive matchup again. So under 38.5.
Like it.
My second like so far here. Moving ahead, continuing with the 1 o'clock slate, we have the Houston Texans on the road to take on the reeling Atlanta Falcons. Falcons favored by 2 points here. Point total is 41. What do you have on this one?
I lean to the Falcons on this one.
Why?
And it's because I think we're getting a little bit of overvalue on the Texans right now. They're playing really well. CJ Stroud looks awesome, and I'm excited for Texans fans because that's a smash. He's looked great. Nico Collins, Damian Pierce. But we got to pump the brakes. I hate Desmond Ridder, and I hate everything I've seen out of him. And like we talked about last week, the Heineke calls are happening in Atlanta. When do we move to him? Do we move to him? But in this particular spot, Atlanta, tough place to play for one. And Desmond Ridder is a very good home quarterback. He always has been. He hasn't lost at home, period, in the NFL or in college. He's just very good at home. He sucks on the road. He sucks even more in London. So he's back home, and this is a game I really want to see. It's like a good measuring stick for Houston. Where are you? Because Atlanta's a tough spot to win. They still struggle to stop the run a little bit. And Bijan, man, if there's anyone that's come on for Atlanta, that kid is filthy. I know we've been saying this weekly, but I think he has a big game.
Yeah, you have two strong offensive rookie of the year candidates playing in this one. CJ Stroud being the favorite so far. He's on pace for over 5,000 passing yards, by the way,
with zero interceptions.
So then you have two offensive player of the years going against each other with CJ Stroud, who's the favorite. Bijan Robinson, I think he's third in terms of being the favorite there, but they're going to be facing each other. Interested to see that matchup. Stroud is on pace for over 5,000 yards passing.
Crazy.
It's pretty remarkable with the weapons that he has, by the way, with Tank Dell and Nico Collins.
Nico Collins has stepped up.
He's turning out to be kind of a stud, honestly.
Yeah.
So I almost like the Texans +2 just because of the disrespect of this Tex. I say disrespect because they're dogs in this one. I think they should absolutely be favorites in this one. Atlanta, I think this is Desmond Ridder's final chance here. I mean, Kyle Pitts is banged up on top of that. Jonnu Smith, who was traded from the Patriots, they couldn't figure out with him. He had reeled in like 95 95 yards last week, whatever.
He's their best weapon.
Yeah, he's their best weapon right now. I don't know if that speaks to Ridder or not, but
I'm now moving.
I think he's banged up
to this. He can be banged up all he wants. I know they didn't throw him the ball enough, but get open. Jonnu Smith's getting open, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind that Arthur Smith knows how to use Jonnu Smith there in his Texans days.
That's his
guy.
But
still, I understand that Ridder has been winning at home, but I think this is his final chance. I think it's his final chance before it's Heineke time.
I agree.
If he loses this week, and this might play to Ridder's favorite, I think he's done. See you later. And just real quick, the Falcons' total points this season, we have 24, 25, 6, and 7.
Yeah, they haven't not been good recently.
No, the past 2 weeks have been horrendous.
But on the road, the first 2 games at home, they are a different team at home. They have been for years, and they are again today.
Well, technically, the Jacksonville one was a home game, Matthew.
Oh, enough. But London. Was that a Falcons home
It was
game?
a Falcons
so
home game.
So the Jags get 2 road games in London?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, because
they
they're
want to be
there
there
twice.
Yeah, but they want to be there.
Although they should have probably just
give
had
them
1-1.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Bullshit.
But and then the Texans total points scored this season 25, 31, 37, 30.
Yeah,
they're putting
playing
up
some offense.
points. And just real quick, what's his face? Laramie Tunsil returned to practice today, left tackle there.
They need him.
I mean, what they're doing on offense with their
crazy.
offensive line injuries is remarkable. They got down to their third left tackle last week.
Insane.
So Laramie Tunsil, big return to practice today with that knee injury. Let's see if he actually plays. And yeah, I think they're starting to get, they also activated the 21-day window for Titus Howard, another tackle. So I don't know if he's going to be playing there. Looks like he is going to be ready to play. So they're potentially getting back two valuable pieces for that offensive line. So it was close to a like for me. I'd lean the Texans. But yeah, I understand your point about the Falcons playing.
I'm not betting this game. Okay. I'm interested in seeing both teams and how they play this week. That's all.
All right. By the way, it's stifling.
It's hot in here.
It's hot under these lights.
Hurley's trying to get rid of us, I think.
This is I feel like the past few weeks has been quite comfortable here.
You know, like hot yoga. It's hot podcasting.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
A new trend.
New hot trend. He's trying to warm my
I'm wearing
up.
shorts and flip flops, and I'm
No, yeah, the AC doesn't reach this room.
Not me.
Why?
I don't know.
We got to keep these ferns going.
Yeah,
is that why?
ferns.
These fake ferns.
Yeah, it's a tropical climate.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Just a monkey swinging behind me and shit.
Love it.
Yeah, it is. I'm starting to work a sweat right now.
All
right.
Give you a nice glisten on camera.
Yeah, look like an oily bag of shit. All right, moving ahead, we have the Patriots. 1 point favorites against the Saints. 40-point total here. You are hating on the Patriots because
I'm hating on the Saints too.
And the Saints. You hating on both of these teams because of your week 4 picks. So this one I struggle with. I do have a play in this one, and it's not going to be the Patriots.
And it's not going to be the Saints.
It's not going to be the Saints.
I know where you're playing. You're playing the under.
Of course I'm playing the under. The fact that this is 40.5 is absolutely laughable.
Crazy.
The Saints have gone under in 13 of their last 14 games. They've gone under in all 4 games so far this year with an average combined score of 34.5 in the games they've played. On offense, New Orleans has scored 20 points or fewer in 7 straight games in 9 of its last 10. On the defensive side of the ball, the Saints have gone 11 straight games without surrendering more than 20 points before Sunday's 26-9 loss to the Buccaneers. However, that has a little bit of an asterisk there because the Saints offense kind of gifted 10 points with fumbles out on its own 6 and 16 to the Buccaneers.
Sure did.
Last week. So little asterisks there. As for the Patriots, this is the worst Patriots offense to this point I have ever seen. And that includes last season.
I'm so happy you brought this up because this is where I was going to go. How does Matt Patricia have a better run offense than Bill O'Brien?
It's starting to look like it wasn't Patricia. What I saw last week from Mac Jones.
Interesting.
There have been many moments from Mac Jones's 3-year run here with the Patriots, and not many of which were in his rookie year, where I'm watching it as a Patriots fan. I'm like, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
He's not the guy. This kid gets too frazzled. He's comes off with these bratty vibes, whether he's, giving weird looks to the sideline or he's flipping out, which we haven't seen many flip outs this year because they strongly talked to him about that.
Yep.
The smile to Zappy last week,
That
I didn't
was
really
wild.
care for it.
Yep.
I understand that he's probably saying
good luck.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
But even if he was saying that,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
You just absolutely had the worst game of your career. You should not be cracking any jokes whatsoever, even if you're trying to make light of a shitty situation there.
Yeah.
What an absolute embarrassing loss last week on the road to the Cowboys. And Cowboys are a damn good team. Again, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. But still, I mean, this is just an absolute pathetic Patriots team so far. I really want to pick the Saints. I'm not going to because Patriots are home. Belichick's back's to the wall. We've seen him bounce back before. Yes, I know he had Tom Brady, but still. I'm going to wait and see on this one. If they lose this week, obviously they're cooked.
Yeah.
But I think that spells the end of Belichick, not mid-season, but I think that also spells the end to this Mac Jones experiment.
I think it has to be, right? Like
that's going to be the reaction this week.
Rightfully so. So here's my thing. Everyone that knows me knows I am not a Mac Jones guy. It's not because he was drafted by New England. I was anti-Mac Jones in the draft.
Yeah, you wanted Trey Lance.
I wanted Justin Fields, but that's the truth. As a Niners fan, that's who I thought they were
Fields
trading
would have been unbelievable in that.
Fields would be incredible there. I still believe that. But, part of the thing is you get who you get and where you go matters. But, look, Mac Jones to me was always a mid-round pick. I don't know why he was getting this first round, but his arm's not good enough. He's an idiot. Like, I feel like...
I don't think he's an idiot.
Well, I take that back. He's an idiot. But, like, I think with the way he plays, I mean, like, the way he's smirking, as you were saying, he's a dirty player, flat out. I mean, Devin McCourty, of all people, is on Sunday Night Football there talking, or NFL Network, wherever he is now, talking about how, look, if the shoe fits at this point, like, you're a dirty player. This has happened enough. Like, that's a guy that, of all the Patriots past players or guys that have played with him, if you're not going to listen to Devin McCourty, who are you listening to? So for me, I was never, like, here he is. I think he's a fourth-round pick. And if he was a fourth-round pick, your expectations wouldn't be what they are of him right now. And he is playing like he's a fourth-round pick. Right. So that's what it is to me. That's where I think he is. With New Orleans on the other side of it, I still like their defense. I like the defense of the Pats. They did trade for J.C. Jackson this morning,
good
which
pickup.
is interesting to me because I know they lost Christian Gonzalez for the year, which is massive because he's played pretty well.
Yeah, keep going.
But interesting that that to me still says, okay, we're still going. We're still going. And that's a good sign. That's what you want to see, I think, as a Patriots fan. Mm-hmm. I think the Patriots win this game. This is a game they should win.
It's a game they absolutely should win.
They should not lose this game to Derek Carr and the Saints, who, in all honesty, have been a big fan of their defense, but their offense has been so bad that they're killing their defense. Quite honestly, I mean, you mentioned the turnovers last week. That was the difference in that game. They couldn't get anything going on offense. They gave the Bucs short fields, and Baker took advantage.
Even aside from the whole Mac Jones and the bumbling offense that you have now, by the way, Bill O'Brien's been calling pretty shitty plays this entire year.
Stevenson.
And that might speak to him not having confidence in Mac Jones, but either way, the plays have not, or the weapons, whatever it is.
The weapons suck.
The offense is the slowest in the NFL. They ranked bottom 5 pretty much in everything. And then aside from the offense, you just lost a stud cornerback and rookie Christian Gonzalez that you mentioned, and then stud pass rusher Matthew Judon. Likely done for the year. That is deflating.
When he takes Mac out, but not Judon, little inconsistency there.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I forget who asked the question there. I think it was Reese.
Good
on him. Good on him. Good follow-up.
Of course, Bill had no answer for it. Going to play somebody.
Somebody's going to play. Yeah, why don't you put one of your special teams angels out there?
17 defensive guys you draft.
Somebody's going to play. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm a Belichick guy too. But he's pissing me off. He's pissing me off lately. So, just to put a bow on this one, I think the Patriots are going to play zone defense, leading to shorter gains, chipping away the clock. Yep. Like, I assume that J.C. Jackson's going to play because they made this trade out of desperation.
He knows the defense. He knows the scheme.
But, you have really good weapons on the Saints offense there with Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, obviously. Rashid Shaheed is a really good speedster.
Yep.
He probably is going to torch the Pats at some point. Go over the top there. And then, by the way, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, yeah. He actually looked great
and
last week.
And he looks awesome.
Came right back into it, looked great. I'll say this. I came on this podcast last week talking about how good Olave's been. Miserable.
You're allowed a bad game.
Couldn't get him the ball. It wasn't him. His quarterback was as bad as I've ever seen.
That's what it's going to come down to is, can Derek Carr go against a Bill Belichick defense?
No.
We've seen it in the past. He can't.
Can Mac, can Mac give them enough to beat the Saints D? That's the question to me.
I mean,
I like the under here.
I really don't understand why this has a 4 in front of it in terms of this point total. 40.5.
It scares me. The under. It scares me because everyone is looking at that under and saying, yeah, give me that. And 41 is a key number in the NFL. So just to mention this, that's one thing to look at. So you get it's a final that can happen in so many ways that is common. 31-10, 21-20. 27-14. You just have 17 and 24-17. So it's a very common number for finals to land on. So that's a key number with a total. So 40 is below that key number. But again, we've said it. I don't know how this number is getting to 40. I feel like they could play till Tuesday, and I don't know if it gets to 40,
I get this. As like
a weird line.
I got this as like a 21-17 game.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
All right, moving ahead. That was a good chunk of time there. Sorry, it's just very frustrating, both in terms of your picks last week and just as a Patriots fan. I had to vent a little bit there.
Yeah, no, it's a double vent. Double vent. We had a double vent for a double like on the show.
Moving ahead, Titans and Colts. I've seen this one bouncing around. Colts currently 1-point home dogs on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they are also 1-point dogs here, but the Colts were favored by 1.5. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You were. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. No plays for me on this one. I would have to lean on the Colts here. We'll see if Jonathan Taylor returns. I highly doubt he will, given that he said he didn't want to play for the Colts again. Mm-hmm. I think they're just opening this 21-day practice window off the PUP to maybe let teams know that he is still very much available. I don't think he's going to be putting on a Colts jersey again. But that being said, there might be a chance that he is your starting Colts running back on Sunday.
Yep.
So we don't know that at this moment, but what are your thoughts on this game?
We're going through half the show figuring like I still haven't given out a like. Maybe I don't like anything because I'm so bad right now.
Yeah, we do require you to give up.
You require,
picks.
Then this is a like. Give me the Colts +1 at home. I love the way they're playing. I was wrong about Anthony Richardson, and I come on here and say I was wrong. He's reminding me of like Cam Newton light a little bit.
Looks like Cam Newton.
Running, throwing, his style of play scares me a little bit. But you know what? The hell with it. It's working. And I like it. They're competitive. The way they battled back against the Rams last week was everything I needed to see from this team. They're well coached, and Anthony Richardson's really starting to come on, and I like what I'm seeing from him. So they're pretty much the same team on offense as far as yards per play go, and on defense. They're very similar. Not much to look at here. The Colts are 16th in the NFL with 322 yards per game. The Tennessee Titans.
That's remarkable. They've put up that many.
Yeah, and that's right in the middle
Anthony
of the field.
Richardson, yeah.
A little bit of Gardner Minshew mixed in, but he didn't play that well. Arguably their worst game, which is what it is.
Yeah, it was a tough spot he came in.
Yeah, I know. I'm not nothing against his performance there, but just looking against the way Richardson's played versus him, Richardson definitely been the better quarterback there. Tennessee's passing game's just dreadful. They got away with it against Cincy. We'll talk about Cincy in a little bit, but 169 yards per game from Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that's an aging offense.
No thanks. Look, Tennessee's a team I like to back at home. They're not a team I'm looking to back on the road. It's a divisional game. I think this is a big game for Indy. Tennessee stops the run, but Richardson's going to give him a different look where he can give that run-pass option. Interested to see where he plays. I think this is a big game for Michael Pittman. I think they get him involved early. He kind of slowed up last week from his hot start. He looks good though overall. Yeah. He didn't do too much last weekend. They got involved late. But I think he bounces back. I think Pittman has a big game on Sunday. I think Richardson has a great game, both running and throwing. Give me the Colts home dogs. I'll take the +1. I bet a money line, so I'm there. But for the show purposes, I'll take the +1 here with the Colts.
Okay, so you're on the money line for you personally, but would you like this at where they open at 1.5-point favorites?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I like anything under a field goal with the Colts.
Yeah, I mean Titans are coming off a big win over the Bengals, who are reeling. I know that, but still, it speaks a lot to their effort last week. I think this is a good spot for the Titans to drop one here.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Yep. With you.
I am totally with you on that. No plays for me, though. Oh, by the way, the point total is 42.5. I would probably lean the under on that one as well.
Yep.
Moving ahead to a very good game at the kickoff of the 4 o'clock slate here. We have the Eagles, undefeated Eagles, right? Are they undefeated? Yeah.
Barely.
4-point favorites on the road in L.A. No plays for me on this one, but I will note that the Rams, they are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games. as a home underdog. Any likes for you on this matchup?
Sure is. Give me the Rams. 4.5
Like
FanDuel
it.
right now. Give me the Rams, MGM, FanDuel, Caesars, all 4.5. DraftKings at the lowest with 4. I'm taking the 4.5 with the Rams. Have played it. The Rams are just simply better than people want to give them credit for, right? Philly's pass defense continues to be an issue. They're playing way too close games. They're giving up 260 yards a game through the air. That's 27th in the NFL.
Again, look what Sam Howell did to them last week.
I mean, in Philly, by the way, in Philly. So usually division games, you think, okay, lower scoring, good defense. No, shootout in Philly. Philly's offense, not arguing that. Think they'll get theirs. But I don't trust this Philly pass defense against Matthew Stafford, who has continued with Puka Nacua looking good, Atwell looking good. He got Higbee involved last week. Kyron Williams a little banged up with a hip. He's going to play. I know it's saying questionable. He's playing.
He is emerging as an RB1, by the way.
He sure is.
Yeah.
He sure is. Notre Dame product. They're just, they're solid.
Oh, I always forget that.
But Cooper Kupp activated off the IR. We'll see on him. TBD. I don't expect him to be back, but there is a chance.
I think he plays.
I think there's a chance he's going to play. If he plays, this to me is what we call in the old gambling community, a free roll, because I love this pick. If Cooper Kupp plays, it's just another weapon, and good luck to Philly trying to stop them. And that's the thing. I'm getting 4.5 points here. I make the line 2. That's through a key number. The Rams are better than people think. I'm taking the Rams with the 4.5 points. And honestly, if Cooper Kupp plays, I kind of like him live.
So the latest report from Deanna Rossini of The Athletic, Kupp's hamstring issue was, quote, not as serious as initially feared, and that Kupp is, quote, pushing to play in week 5. I think he plays. I think he's on a pitch count, but I think he plays.
Love it.
And I'm very, very interested to see what this offense looks like with the return of Cooper Kupp. I mean, Puka Nacua is just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm. This was close to a like for me as well. I'm not sure if the Rams win, but would not shock me whatsoever. I just don't know if the Rams defense is able to slow down the Eagles offense.
That's the question.
I mean, DeAndre Swift is kind of approaching to be a stud right now.
Sure is.
Moving ahead, continuing with the 4:00 slate. Bengals, the reeling Bengals, go on the road in Arizona. Arizona home underdogs here, 3-point dogs, 44.5 point total here. And just real quick, the Eagles-Rams point total, 50.5. Just want to mention that. Bengals, Cardinals, 44.5. No plays for me here, but I am very concerned about this Bengals team, and the calf is clearly bothering Joe Burrow.
Yep. I lean Arizona. I told you last week, I don't know what to do with the Bengals until they get back to normalcy or bench Joe Burrow. I don't know what to do with them because, sure, this is a game that Cincinnati could come out and still win. The talent is there. T. Higgins, though, pretty sure he broke his rib. If he didn't break it, then he's got a rib injury. He's trying to play through. He wants to play through. They'll probably let him play because they just throwing all the guys out there hurt and look awful on offense. Like, I don't know.
That's tough to play through a rib injury, and Higgins is a tough guy, but he could easily get knocked out of that game if he does play.
Easily.
Fracture ribs suck.
One shot to the ribs and he's gone.
Yeah.
That's it. And then, Arizona's playing hard. I know they have their doors blown off by San Francisco, but there's just a talent gap there.
Yeah. I give them all the credit in the world. We all thought that they were just going to tank and be a crap team. And Joshua Dobbs looks pretty decent. Michael Wilson, rookie for the Cardinals there, looking like a nice pickup there. Yeah. Marquise Brown has looked solid. James Conner still looking pretty solid there. So, yeah, they're playing hard. They're absolutely playing hard. If I had to pick, I would probably lean the Cardinals on this one as well. I need to see it from the Bengals. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Just not touching Cincinnati right now.
Yeah. Moving it, although I will say that this is a sneaky blow-up spot for Jamar Chase.
I mean, eventually,
that seems like decent turf for him.
Just one of these weeks. Yeah, and it is. Yeah, against
and
that
he's had two
defense.
Back-to-back solid weeks, but I'm talking about like a classic Jamar Chase blow-up spot.
Yeah, can Burrow get him the ball?
This has that potential. Yeah, can Burrow get him the ball? It's as simple as that.
Downfield.
All right, moving ahead, we have the Chiefs on the road in Minnesota. Minnesota, again, their first victory of the year last week in Carolina. They are 4.5-point home dogs against the Super Bowl champions. Point total is 53 in this one. Noteworthy that 11 of the last 15 Vikings home games went over on that one. So if I had to lean in any direction, it would be 50 over 53. No plays for me, but that's my only lean.
Over?
Lean over.
Yeah. Okay. I lean Vikings actually here, but not a play. I'm not sure what's going on in Kansas City, and I know the stats are showing they're still putting up numbers on offense.
They almost lost Sunday.
Just don't look right to me. They're up 17-0 in that game. 17-0.
I think they fell asleep.
I know Zach Wilson played better, but it was 17-0. But at the time, it's 17-17. Maybe wake up. I don't know. Mahomes already 4 interceptions on the year. Something's just not right there. Now, with that said, I'm not saying they go out and lose this game, and they could just as well bury Minnesota. But, I mean, the Vikings offense is putting up numbers. And it'll be a good challenge for that Chiefs defense, who was playing better before last week. We'll see. Just a small lean to the Vikings here.
Either way, it's definitely going to be a shootout. Very much looking forward to that matchup. Could very well be a nice battle between Justin Jefferson and Travis Kelce there.
Sure could.
Both could easily get over 100 yards receiving
could see
in this
that.
one. Moving ahead to the Jets on the road in Denver. 2-point home favorites here, 43-point total. I have a play.
All right, same.
Jets +2.
Double leg!
Baby!
It's on the Jets.
Double
it took
whammy.
To week 5.
Double whammy. Who's clapping?
4, 5. What week is it? Christ.
We have an audience?
We have an audience. I love it. Week 5 it took. We got a double leg. Go ahead, Doc. I'll let you start.
All right, well, Broncos, they definitely should have lost last week, and the Bears just absolutely fell asleep there. Very noteworthy here. The Chiefs are on the docket for the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. This is a classic look-ahead spot. I know the Broncos suck, but still, it's a divisional opponent. You know that they have the Chiefs circled on their calendar, obviously. Jets nearly won this past Sunday. On top of that, Broncos, they are 3-14-1 against the spread in their last 18 games as a favorite, and they are outright losers, 12 of these games. And another little wrinkle here.
Oh.
Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
The Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
Offensive coordinator for the Jets, for those of you who don't know.
Yes.
Hackett got absolutely destroyed, and rightfully so. He sucked as a coach in Denver, but you got to wonder if they going to be a little bit juiced up for their offensive coordinator this week.
I agree with that. I did have it on my notes. I do think they bring some extra energy, and the way they battle back against Kansas City, I know that Sauce was all upset with the holding call, the lack thereof, and then letting Kansas City get down the field, blah, blah, blah. I get it. That was the best game the Jets have played since Buffalo in week 1. No question. Zach Wilson looked like an actual quarterback.
Yep.
He got the ball to Garrett Wilson. He got through the ball downfield, made a nice play to Lazard, did things that I didn't think he was capable of doing. I was so happy for the kid, to be honest. I was hoping he'd give us something on Sunday Night Football, so he didn't. When it started 17-0, I'm like, oh, here we go again. But backing up to this game, Jets' schedule thus far has been absolutely brutal.
Yep.
Right? So where Denver, they've kind of had Cupcake City, and they still suck. The Jets' defense is a far superior defense. I know the stats don't show it everywhere, but the Jets, again, their schedule has been much harder than Denver's. Denver's defense, Tuck, last in yards per play, giving up 7 yards per play.
They're clearly the worst defense in the NFL.
Last in total yards, 461.5 yards per game. Last in rush yards allowed, 176. Come back to that in a second. And 31st in the league out of 32, so second to last in passing yards allowed, 285 yards a game. Like I said, with Zach Wilson looking like a capable quarterback last week, I think they try to run down Denver's throat, and I think they will. I think finally we see Breece Hall, get off the map here. I think he's a big game, and I think Dalvin Cook finally paying some dividends. I think they both get a ton of carries in this one, and I think that the Jets are going to try to open it up off the run game, and Garrett Wilson gets in the end zone. I think the Jets win this game outright. They're the better team, and it's not even close. Just defense alone.
Yeah.
Defensively alone. They're going to shut Russ down.
This is insulting. They're a dog.
I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. They give me the Jets are a better team. I'm taking the 2 here. Jets.
A couple of notes real quick. You mentioned Breece Hall. I'm with you on that one. That is a solid DFS play for me this week.
Yep.
And on top of that, Jets head coach Robert Saleh said the team would not restrict Breece Hall's workload anymore. It looks like he's going to be a full go.
Yep, exactly.
He's completely recovered from this report. It seems that from that 2022 ACL injury. Mm-hmm. So the training wheels are off for Breece Hall here. I think he's going to have a monster game. And then Javonte Williams, we don't know his status for the Broncos. They left the game last week. I know they have McLaughlin there.
Yep.
And Samaje Perine, but they don't scare me against this Jets defense.
None of the three. Not even Javonte. He's not right yet. He had a tough knee injury last year that he's trying to work back from, and he hasn't looked right to me. I hope the kid plays well, but I don't see it right now. He doesn't have that burst.
Yep. And I had one more note real quick. No, I don't.
Okay.
Never mind. Oh, I was going to say, Russell Wilson, like his stats look decent. He doesn't look great.
Russell Wilson
he looks slightly improved from last year.
He is what he is at this point.
Right.
He's not good.
No. So I think the Jets kind of make him look silly. Moving to Sunday Night Football. This is one for the books. Might be one of the better games of the entire 2023 seasons. The Cowboys go on the road to Levi Stadium to take on your 49ers, who are favored by 3.5 here. That line has not moved whatsoever. Point total is 45. No plays for me on this one. I will note, however, that the 49ers have won 12 of their last 17 home games by 15 or more points. They're 15-2 against the spread during these 7 games with 9 straight covers. If I had to pick a side, I'm going with the Niners.
I'm taking the Niners. It's my best bet, and I'm backing them. Dallas, continue to run your mouth about how this is the year you're going to beat them. This is the year. Keep talking, Dallas. This is what we want. Niners just casually sitting back saying, okay, we'll see you there. Dak with his fake tough guy attitude when asked about the Niners in his postgame.
What did he say?
Oh, he was asked, the reporter asked him after the game, do you guys still think about the loss to the 49ers or something like that? And he was like, oh, he couldn't even answer the question. He was like, you trying to piss me off? Thank you for trying to piss me off before this week. Thank you. That's what I needed. I'm like, okay, Dak, you're going to go out and throw a couple picks. You suck. I'm telling you right now, here's the play.
He said that?
Yep. He's such a fraud.
I take back what I said about the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. The Niners are going to the Super Bowl.
Such a fraud. Listen, this is what's interesting to me in this game. So both teams are 7th on defense in yards per play. Solid defenses. We're seeing that.
Yeah, two of the best in the league.
Yep. San Francisco's 3rd, Dallas 7th. Okay. San Francisco, 66 yards a game on the ground they're allowing. Good luck, Tony Pollard. And to beat San Francisco, you have to be successful running the ball to open up the pass game. You can throw in the Niners statistically because they'll give you that. The Niners give you that. But what's interesting is they allow 218 yards in the air per game, while Dallas averages 218 yards per game. So there you go. Dak, you can throw for 218. Just watch out for those 2 interceptions that you're probably going to throw in this game. The big difference here is the 49ers offense. 6.3 yards per play on offense. Dallas just at 5.1. That's a huge difference when you're looking at 2 good defensive teams in this game. I think the Niners, Christian McCaffrey right now, what he's doing is just, he's not even real. Brock Purdy was 20 for 21 the other day. 20 for 21, and he was taking shots downfield.
Very impressive
He's been absolutely perfect quarterback for Kyle Shanahan in that offense, and he makes that team better. Everyone that just wants to talk about, oh, yeah, he's fine. He's just the guy he's doing what Kyle wants. He's not just doing what Kyle wants. As someone who watches the 49ers, he makes them better, and people don't want to admit that because he was the 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant. But that team has so many weapons. He fits right into them. He's getting the ball, spreading it around. Brandon Ayuk looks like a top 10 receiver in the league. He looks incredible. Mm-hmm. McCaffrey obviously is doing what he's doing. They just have so many weapons that, oh, by the way, Dallas has played the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Patriots. Not exactly the offensive talent juggernauts that you think. Yeah. And specifically quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, suck. Zach Wilson, suck. Mac Jones, suck. Dobbs, suck. good luck.
Do you think the hook is a little baity on this one, though?
Yeah, I think that's what they want. And what you want to take Dallas. The whole thing. Take Dallas. I make the game 6. I make the game 4.5. I like it to 6, though. I think the Niners are going to win this game by a touchdown. They've done it in the postseason. They did it the last couple of years. They knocked out Dallas in the postseason. The line was 3.5 on those games as well, and the Niners covered those games.
I'll say this, too. The point total is begging you to take the over.
Yeah.
45. That's
Yeah, I think so. I do think it will be lower scoring. I do think that totals. I'm not touching the total.
I'm not either.
I
don't see. I know the offensive weapons of both sides here, but I just don't see
24-17-ish to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't see. These defenses letting up much here in terms of even with these offensive weapons.
This is a real test for the Cowboys defense. Let's see.
Oh, totally.
You, because you've played nobody.
Right.
You've played nobody.
Yeah, and they've scored, 3 touchdowns so far this year?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, they've been great for fantasy.
Yeah, they really have.
All right.
Best bet, Niners.
Monday Night Football. I have 1 like remaining, and I will be using it here.
Oh, I am too.
Packers, -1. Give me the Packers on this one. They are heading into their bye week. And guess what happens there? They're going to get the victory against this shitty Raiders team. I don't care who the quarterback is, whether it's Aiden O'Connell or Jimmy Garoppolo, who I think is going to be playing.
I think so.
The Packers are coming off a horrific loss home against a divisional opponent with the Lions. On Thursday Night Football, they have a little extra rest there. But they're going to get this win. They're going to go into the bye week and get completely plastered after the game here in Las Vegas. That's going to be on every player's mind.
Is this your best bet?
Not even kidding.
Is your best bet?
Yes, this is my best bet.
All right, best bet.
Best bet. Packers -1.
Best bet and another double like,
Double
baby.
like. Double like. Double like.
Love it.
We've never had that in the history of this show.
We haven't had a double
in
like.
all 5 episodes.
And we got 2 for you. 2. Packers -1. Love this spot. If the Niners weren't my best bet, this would have been. So you would have had a double best bet. Listen, it's a mini bye for the Packers. They played Thursday night, as you said, get their shit pushed in. Jordan Love's like, hey, let me try to just play second halves, I guess, because he tried to bring them back again. Didn't happen this time. Came up short. But Vegas, suck off. This is the thing. I just like
Vegas, suck off.
You suck off.
What? Suck off what?
Just suck off yourselves. They're 2 of the worst running offenses in the league.
That was like a fuck off.
Yeah, whatever. It was just we're just throwing terms out. We're creating terms. And that's what Vegas is. They're just terrible. I think you're going to have a crowd advantage in Vegas pointing to the Packers.
This is a home game.
Yeah,
this is a home game for the Packers.
That team's going to, that crowd's traveling
What's
out to Vegas.
What's like a 3-hour flight? Right?
Give me a 60-40 crowd at least to the Packers in this game. And Monday Night Football, Vegas has already lost on prime time. We know what Garoppolo is. He's still in concussion protocol as of today, Wednesday. The Packers are winning this game, flat out. And -1 is just not enough. They both suck running the ball, but Jacobs did get going last week against the Chargers. Matt LaFleur forgot he had Aaron Jones active, I think. I don't know if that was a decoy thing, but he just didn't give him the ball.
That whole thing was
A.J.
weird.
Dillon absolutely blows.
Well, they were rumored to be in the Jonathan Taylor market before the season.
Yeah.
And now they're hosting James Robinson on a free agent visit. I don't know if you saw that.
A.J. Dillon is very
That speaks
bad.
volumes about A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, he's very bad. So get him off the field. But here's the thing. I said this earlier, mini bye for Green Bay playing the Thursday night game. That's just more time and getting the extra day to Monday night. That's almost a full bye week for Green Bay before they go into their bye week, right?
Exactly.
So that spot is awesome for Green Bay in a place that they will travel, but will have the crowd advantage, in my opinion. And I think that's only going to help Aaron Jones get back to normal. Christian Watson played the whole game. I think the win for the Packers on Thursday Night Football was keeping those 2 healthy. Oh, by the way, their best cornerback, Jair Alexander, and Eric Stokes, their other cornerback, both didn't play against the Lions. Practice yesterday. They're back at practice. They're trending towards
because they're going to make the party in Vegas.
They also have their offensive lineman, Elton Jenkins. He practiced. He's going to be a go for Monday night.
They did lose Bakhtiari.
They lost Bakhtiari, but getting Jenkins back is huge because they need their linemen playing. So in this game, they're getting healthy. They're coming off a mini bye. They're going into their bye. I love this spot for the Packers.
This feels like a 2-touchdown game for Christian Watson.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that.
This seems like, I know he reeled in one last week coming off his hamstring injury there.
Yeah, and they didn't take, in his game is downfield, like taking shots. They took none.
Yeah,
so
they're going to take shots this game.
They were both.
And after the game.
Sure thing. Love that. But see in Vegas. Love it, Packers.
I will. Does it make you nervous at all that this was moved? This opened at 1.5 and now it's moved to 1.
You know what? I'm glad you asked. Because here's the problem with this.
Shuts the laptop.
Last week, I bet 5 games. I gave out 5 picks on this show. I texted you on Sunday. Every single pick that I gave on this show worked in my favor. Mm-hmm. Every single one. Didn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We're seeing close and line value just not matter this year.
Yeah.
I've been ahead of the line more times than not. And it doesn't matter. It's not moving. So, no, I'm done caring about what the line's doing. I bet my numbers. And I'm going to be consistent to that. I'm going to stop watching. Why is this overthinking things? No, it doesn't make me nervous because the people that are driving the line down are actually betting on the Las Vegas Raiders, and that ain't something I'm ready to do.
Right. I will note real quick that the Packers are 14-5 against the spread following a loss since the start of the 2019 season. Mm-hmm. And for what it's worth, I don't think it's worth much, but the Packers have won 8 straight games versus the Raiders. And I will note that the Raiders have the Patriots home next week, which is going to be circled on Josh McDaniels' calendar. Former offensive coordinator for the Patriots. I know they played last year, but still, it's always noteworthy when the McDaniels is going to be facing Belichick.
The one thing is the little Devontae Adams versus the Packers. I expect him to get it. He'll get
fair.
his. He'll get his.
Fair. He did
touchdown. Devontae Adams feels real good, especially if Jimmy plays.
Yeah, I mean he was traded. He didn't leave, but still.
But that is exactly why they need Jair Alexander in this game. They need him back.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that. So that is my best bet. Packers -1 there. Just a quick recap overall for Week 5. My first was Lions -9.5. Pats Saints under 40.5. Steelers, Ravens, under 38.5. Close best bet. That was it. And then the Jets, double +2. And then the double was the Packers -1. So double likes for this podcast.
With your best bet.
That could either be really good or horribly tragic for us.
Could be tragic, but I feel good about it. My recap, Indy +1, Rams +4.5, Jets +2, Green Bay -1, and my best bet, the San Francisco 49ers -3.5. That'll do it.
All right.
Well, let's have a fucking week.
Yeah, let's bounce you back here. Hopefully I can continue and not be as inconsistent as I have been this season. 10-9-1 and
9-11.
11? Okay, cool.
Don't like that number.
No.
We got to get better. We got to be better.
Reminds me of that tragedy.
Long season. We'll be back.
All right. So follow us on Twitter at Better-in-Laws, or formerly known as Twitter at Better-in-Laws, and on Instagram at Better-in-Laws. Like us, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Turn notifications on.
Bet responsibly. Do all the
YouTube,
stuff.
Baby.
Disclaimer stuff. Just don't bet like a dickhead is what we're trying to tell you.
Don't bet like me.
Don't bet your mortgage.
Don't bet like me.
All right.
Don't bet like me.
Why are you saying that?
Stop losing.
You're giving out picks and you're saying don't bet like me?
Stop losing. Just don't lose. Okay. That's what I mean.
All right. Well, I have a strong feeling you're going to bounce back this week. I do like this card a lot.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Hurley, for producing as always. That's going to do it for us. Bye-bye.
See ya.